Hey guys, welcome to another quick guide where I show you pretty much the most OP hero of this patch. This time it's gonna be for the carry version, as last time we did Undying. This hero has been rising in popularity for multiple different reasons. I will try to keep the video short and concise. So the hero Essence Shift, it's basically the same as it used to be, right? When you hit a hero, you steal stats. There's a lot of tanky heroes being played. They changed pounds where it no longer deals damage, but you get stacks of Essence Shift, which is it's a very big deal, especially later in the game with how people skill the hero. Then Dark Pact has pretty much been buffed over the patches a lot as well, and he has better talents now with a Dark Pact cooldown talent, which usually the talents people take is Dark Pact on 20. It really depends. So far, I have seen both. I think the +1 agility gain stolen per stack is a big deal because it goes from 3 agi to 4. But having 75 attack speed in Shadow Dance is also very big because when you are in your shard, which we're going to get into in a moment, it also gives you bonus attack speed there. And then on 25, you have the Shadow Dance duration and also the Essence Shift duration. And from what I can see, I was trying to see what people go. And it seems that most of the time people are taking the Essence Shift duration because the talent is just better. So let's go into the skill build before I show you guys truly how to play the hero. So usually level 1 you're going to start with Essence Shift, then people go with Pounce, and then you go 3 levels in Dark Pact. You're going to get your ulti at 6. Now, one of the main strengths of Slark is that when you're in Fog, you have the Shadow Dance region where you move faster, you gain HP, and it also means that you are not seen. So one of the most important aspects of Slark is the fact that when you are seen, first of all, it's going to tell you that you're potentially being ganked, that they see you, or that you're in an observer ward. This is why Slark, you should buy your own wards on Slark, okay? You should buy your own sentries on Slark. You should always have 1 or 2 sentries with you. Try to run around the tree so you know who is seeing you, what is seeing you. If suddenly this thing goes away and you know that you're not in a ward, make sure you press Dark Pact because you might be getting smoked on so you can escape the gank. You can always Dark Pact into Pounce Out. Then level 7, you skill like this. And then most of the time, I mean, I've seen people go for different builds. Some people, if you are in a lane where, if you're in a lane where you get to hit a lot, you can go higher levels of Essence Shift. But from now, what I've seen is that you want to go Dark Pact max into Pounce max and then Essence Shift last. Because now that Pounce gives you Essence Shift stacks, it allows you to pump them out more quickly. And Essence Shift doesn't really scale apart from the duration. And 20 seconds is usually enough early on to go and deal with it. So as we talked about the talents, sometimes if you're farming a lot, you take the talent on level 10 and then you get the level of Pounce level 4 at level 11. But now let's get into the item build. So what I want to show you guys is that practically there are 2 real item builds on this hero. You have pretty much, you always start with like a stick and then you go Wraith Band, as you guys can see here. So you go like Wraith Band, and then you have 2 builds. So what I've seen people do is you either go like a Falcon Blade into Diffusal Blade. Like as you can see here, you have Falcon Blade, Treads, Diffusal Blade, Treads, Falcon Blade, Diffusal Blade, Falcon Blade, Treads, Diffusal Blade. This is like the one build. This is the build if you're snowballing a lot, if you're going to be very aggressive around the game. It's like a very free Slark game and so on. And then you go like Diffusal into Aghanims, into BKB and whatever you need. Those are basically your core items. It's like Falcon Blade, Diffusal, Ags, those are like, that's your first trio. Or you do the Treads into Treads, Echo Saber, and then you split it. And then some people do like this Echoes, the Mage Slayer into Ags, which is also good. But one thing that I like is what I prefer more is the Mage Slayer into Ags or the Echo Saber into Aghanims. So the reason why I like the Echo Saber a lot into Aghanims, so let's say like your early item build looks something like this. Now you go Echo Saber. What's cool about Echo Saber is that, so also when you go Echo Saber or Mage Slayer, you can skip the Falcon Blade because these items, they already give you the mana regen. But what you can do with this is that you can go this into this, and when you queue up the Ags, you buy these components, and now you just split the Echo Saber into the Aghanims, and now with this Oblivion Staff, now you complete the Mage Slayer. Because Mage Slayer you cannot disassemble, but the Echo Saber, it also allows you to get more hits off when you pounce on someone with the Essence Shift to get the double hit off, the slow, more stacks, and then you split it into the Aghanim Scepter, which is pretty cool. So personally, I prefer this build, and now it just really depends on the game, like what you need. And then next up, I need to mention how broken the shard is, because this shard it has super high cast range and it can really save a lot of, like it can save your allies. If people get dueled, for instance, by a Legion commander, and you pop your shard, the duel breaks because he stops seeing him. And it's the same with Lasso. You can save people from Black Hole, from Chronosphere, and all this type of stuff. And even here, so let's just double check. I have 250 move speed. When you're in this shard, you gain this bonus attack speed from this. I don't know if it works for your allies. So yeah, even your allies gain attack speed in the shroud. So this is honestly a very big deal. The shard is very OP. It is very, I would say that it's usually like your third item. Like after you have Diffusal Axe or after you have this Echo Saber Axe Mage Slayer, then you can look to buy the shard. And now you just buy whatever you need in a game. In some games you're gonna need a BKB. In some games you can just go straight Bloodthorn because you want like another silence, more attack speed, or you're playing against very tanky heroes like a Pudge or whatever. So that is very good. Or you go Skadi. Just basically from there on, you go whatever you need to. You should already have a good game, and you're gonna feel very good in the game. So as I said, you go Dark Pact. 20, it depends. I think you can play around with both. I feel like this one is a little bit underrated, honestly, because sure, with this one you get four agi per hit instead of 3, but with this one you attack faster. And if you get one more hit off, it's 6 agi instead of 4. So it just like, it depends on how many hits you get off. And also remember that your allies get this if you have the shard already. I think they're both good. And then 25, I think the Essence Shift is usually very good. And remember that this Death Shroud, like you can use it more freely to like be more open in the fight, to be stronger. You can save it for your allies and so on. So basically, these two item builds are very good. Or the other one, as I talked about, is the Falcon Blade Diffusal into Aghanims. Sometimes maybe you need the BKB or whatever. But if you play against heroes like Leshrac or Tidehunter or Pudge, then I think you definitely want to go for the Echo. Then you skip the Falcon Blade, you disassemble it into the Aghanims. Then you go the Mage Slayer after with your Oblivion Staff. And then you will usually want to go like potentially Skadi into Shard or Shard into Skadi. And then again with the pounce, remember with the Aghanims it gives you 2 charges, and remember that when you pounce on them you gain stacks, so it makes you hit a lot faster. And now lastly, what I want to tell you is that the fact that you have the ulti effect that when you're seen it goes away, you need to abuse this not only to understand if they see you, but especially to deward, give yourself bonus XP, bonus gold, and just remove their vision on the map, because Slark becomes really toxic to play against. You don't know where he is, you don't know whether he sees you, and the hero is just... The hero is overpowered. So I want to show you guys a game from the qualifier where Into the Breach played against Secret, and Secret are definitely the favorites in this overall matchup of the game, right? But I want to show you the laning phase. So again, starting items. Very oftentimes you either start with this, where you have a stick. If you are against lanes that use spells, then you go stick. Otherwise, you can go more stats with the Wraith Band. And usually you want to start with Essence Shift. You're very strong at trading with the enemy cores. Of course, in this end, it's like a Marcy Rubik, so it's not super easy for you. And then you go Essence Shift into Pounce. You just try to get in a few hits here or there. You don't really kill people from full to 0. It's only if you get to do long trades where you get lots of hits off, you steal their stats, you get them yourself, then you can keep trading with them. So I'm going to skip ahead a little bit through the laning phase, because in this lane, it's not really anything too crazy. The Marcy is very strong anyway. They don't really get too many kills that happen in this way anyway. So he goes 2 levels in Essence Shift because he feels like he needs it against Marcy to keep the trade going. And then usually around the time where you get 6, what you want to do, you want to have threads and either the Sage Mask for your Falcon Blade or the Sage Mask for your Echo Saber. Because this basically is what allows you to farm the jungle and keep your farm going. And then make sure you squeeze in 1 or 2 sentries so that when you farm the jungle and go back to the lane, that continuously you deward the map. So even here you can see Slark is not having the best game. He's at 2.5k net worth, so he's not very happy. But he's just gonna chill here. Also, lastly, one thing I want to say is that Orb of Corrosion is good on this hero, but only if it's in lanes where you can abuse it a lot, where you play against weak lanes, where either the Orb of Venom or the bonus slow will continuously help you to score kills in the lane. So again, as you can see here, all he does is he maxes out the Dark Pact. He's going to push in the lane. This hero is very hard to gank, so you don't really want to leave your lane. You want to push out your lane, farm the jungle, push out your lane, farm the jungle, continuously deward their wards if they do place any in the area. Now he rushes Oblivion Staff, as we talked about, and nothing too crazy, right? For now, it's just chill. He's farming. We can skip ahead. Now he has these sentries that we talked about. keeps farming. Now he has the Echo Saber. He does receive a death here, I think, because he wasn't quite quick enough on dodging the gank. But anyway, just for the sake of showing it, so he goes to Echo Saber. Now that they kicked him out of top lane, he's gonna go bottom. And now you spam Dark Pact to push waves. You're gonna make sure that you're under Shadow Dance so that you know that they don't see you, that you're not being smoked on. Here again, he swaps out his sentry because he's like, okay, they don't have any vision here. So now it's just a lot of farming going on. Here again, he knows, okay, I'm in the jungle. I'm still under Shadow Dance, so there's no ward here. You just keep farming. We skip over the pause, and now the next timing is just going to be this Aghanim Scepter on the Slark. So now he split the Echo Saber into the Ags, and now suddenly Slark, without really doing anything in this game, he's top net worth with Nisha on the Pango. So now he has Ags, Mage Slayer, and now he's actually strong. Actually very strong. Also, Slark has a lot of good neutral items, like bonus mana regen early on, attack speed is very good on this hero. And now, so what I want to show you is that the game continues, obviously. The Secret are doing very well, they have 2 top net worth cores. But what we can see here is that now Slark, he has the Aghanim, so he's super hard to catch and super mobile, and he also has the Shard. So here, there's a little play where I think Secret gank him or whatever, so here they go on him, but he uses his ulti, he uses double pounce, he's gonna be fine. And now I want to just show you like 1 or 2 fights, because what happens with this hero is that he's super hard to catch, and eventually the more you remove their vision, it just becomes really hard for them to play. And when you have this Axe plus Mage Slayer, you're super hard to deal with. So now, look, he already has 4 stacks just by pouncing the engine, hitting him 1 time. Now he pounces on Nisha. He uses the Death Shroud to save his Enigma, who should have stayed in. But anyway, so he gets to blink out. So, and now he just keeps fighting. Look, like he just keeps standing his ground. He hits them 20 stacks. This is 66 stolen agility. Now he can keep going. He has a new pounce soon. Once again, he's going to steal... He's gonna get even more Essence Shift stacks. So here's Nisha. He pops his ulti to stay alive, give himself more movement speed, more HP. They also buff the ulti over and over in terms of cooldown and what it does. And now suddenly he has 44 stacks, and with a lot of the heroes that are played right now that buy drums for you, that buy Vlads for you, it's really good. And honestly, Slark, even though you feel like you don't lane well against these Enigmas and you don't play super well into Faceless Void, if you are not the one to get Chronod or Black Hole, you can always save your team. So it makes it a little toxic for those heroes to play against you. And now what he does is that he's gonna buy an Orchid. He wants more attack speed with the Blitz Knuckles. It's very good. Bloodthorn allows him to freely hit into the PA to remove the evasion. And it's just gonna give him more mana regen and so on to play into. So now we can look at one more fight, and I think then we can call it a day, because this hero, I think it's already showing you what is happening. So he can just go first. He knows they don't see him. He goes in. He pops his ulti. It's better to pop your ulti early on in the fight, because the Death Shroud isn't just for you. It's also for your allies later on in the fight. So he just plays very aggressive. Look at this. Now he uses the Death Shroud. He's basically invulnerable for like 7.5 seconds in this fight. He just starts the fight. They use all their spells. They use Pango Roll. They use all their spells defensively. Now he uses the Orchid. He keeps going in. Once again, he has like 34 stolen Essence Shift. This is 100 Agi. Just to put this into perspective, this is 4... What are they called nowadays? Is it Eagle Horn? I don't even know what the Eagle Song. Eagle Horn. And now the game is basically over. And he didn't do that many special things in the early game, right? Like he's farming, he's playing chill, he's buying the right items. Now he has Bloodthorn Aegis, now he buys Basher, and from then on you can really just buy whatever you want. Like really, it's just free. Make sure that you now use your brain, use your idea of Dota. Do you need a Skadi? Do you need a Bloodthorn? Do you need a BKB? Do you need a Basher? Whatever, but go away from the Shadow Blade and stuff like this. You don't need those items. Go the 2 item builds that we talked about, and then build into whatever you need afterwards. So with that said, go play some Slark, enjoy yourself, and hope you enjoy the content. Make sure you sub to the channel, use the bell, etc. See you next time, and peace out, my friends. I hope that you enjoy this content.